So, get this. Remember the VR project I had mentioned to Nina and Eric? Yeah, turns out it was much bigger than I had initially thought. Fasten your seatbelts, because your girl here just secured a major VR project from a really reputable organization. Major milestone stuff, you know? This is like next level Amy. I feel like a whole new door of opportunities has just swung wide open for me. It's thrilling. I mean, who knows, next minute I might be designing a VR environment for Agnolite's team Helix. Wild, right? Moving on from my daily pro gamer aspirations, I'll let you in on a small secret. My mentor Luke is partly to thank for this massive stepping stone because of all the valuable insights he shared during our sessions. Seriously, game designer one day appreciating tranquil Zen gardens the other? The man is a well of inspiration. Who knew wisdom could also come wrapped in a VR headset? Today's celebration absolutely calls for indulging in some junk food with Eric and Nina over the weekend. Nothing screams celebration quite like a greasy burger and a side of fries after all, hee hee. I'm thinking burgers, a ton of fries, and something sweet? Donuts maybe? You know, work hard, eat harder. That's the motto. Oh, speaking of Team Helix and Agnolite, have you seen their latest season? It's insane. They've really upped their game, no pun intended. I can't help but root for them this time. They're just so impressive. On another note, when was the last time I told you about Eric and TurboTech? Eric's been working some serious magic over there. Running tests, breaking barriers, the whole lot. You'd almost think he's literally out there drilling for gold with the amount of effort he's putting in. Anyway, all this VR talk is making me itch to get back to my workstation. There's a whole load of designing to do, and good old VR Amy can't keep herself waiting. You know how I'm always on the hunt for unusual artsy stuff, right? So this time I went to this multicultural interpretive dance performance. Man, it was something else. It's like you could see the soul of each culture represented in their movements. There was something so human, so raw about the whole experience. Couldn't help but think about how amazing it might be to distill that in a VR environment. Speaking of VR, guess what Eric suggested? He was like, we should totally create a dance VR experience. Can you visualize that? It would be like step into a world unknown, a living, moving mural created with bodies in form of dance. Fuse tech with culture, and we have a revolution. It got me so psyched that I've already started visualizing how I might go about it. Eric, he never fails to surprise me. He's come up with the quirkiest of ideas ever since we started hanging out. The man is literally a tech wizard brewing up ideas that could revolutionize our perception of arts and technology, and he says it so casually as if he's talking about weather. To think of it, I wonder how Nina's decoding magic is going. Do remember she's been our solid rock during the whole development phases of our last project. We owe that girl some serious appreciation. I might need a tip or two from her down the line. Also, remember we were talking about food trucks the other day? Well, I found this one near the park that serves the most delish tacos. It's like a concoction of flavors in a tortilla. Wicked, mate. Maybe we could stop by there sometime this week. Good food, good company. By the way, I've been spinning Bohemian Rhapsody on loop lately. Queen's truly timeless, don't you think? Their music, it's like a well-worn journal. Tattered pages filled with stories of a time long gone, yet every word imprinted on them still holds meaning. You listen and you can't help but get lost in the rhythm, the lyrics, the world they create. Kinda ties back to that dance performance. The artistry, the storytelling, the heart. It's much the same in a different form. We, humans, sure have a flair for expression, don't you think? Every art form, every snitch of creativity, it's a piece of human spirit, eternalized. So I visited this incredible titanium crystal cave. I thought maybe it's just going to be a casual exploration, but boy, was I wrong. It turned out to be an artistic wonder that sparked my creative juices. You know how crystals are all shiny and magical? These ones were like otherworldly, sparking with so many shades and colors. It was like stepping foot in an enchanted forest from a fantasy tale, except this was all crystalline formations. The shimmering lights reflecting off the crystals created a mesmerizing array of patterns. It was seriously trippy. But the innovative, tech-savvy, crazy me, I started imagining it in a VR landscape. Like, imagine walking through a crystalline forest virtually. Would it glow the same? Would it feel as enchanting? I don't know the answers yet. But I've started experimenting with creating some VR landscapes inspired by the visit. It isn't easy. Seems even my tech enthusiasm is challenged here, but I'm super excited to see how it turns out. I just hope it doesn't turn into another "oops, did I do that?" moment. You remember when I overloaded the streams during one live session, right? Funny thing happened today in our chat, Eric. That techie charmer managed to score season tickets to the Niners football match. He invited Nina and me to visit him in SF and join him for the game. Frankly, I'm more interested in the potential Silicon Valley tour than the football match. You know, geek stuff over sports. But if it includes Nina showing off her feared football skills, wouldn't that be something to watch? Weirdly, it led us to a hilarious trip down memory lane about our high school football trials and gems of moments when coding went hilariously wrong. Both events, equally disastrous, equally funny, transitioned quickly onto the ever-toppling trio, tech, VR, and gaming. Ended up agreeing for gaming with Nina on her updated station. Let's see how that goes. You know the funny part? Turning real life into VR landscapes is turning out to be as epic as a Niners match. I guess living in a world where your day job is nearly as exciting as your favorite football team has its own charm. Sure is better than working in a cubicle in any case. Anyhow, enough about my wild VR escapades.